McDermott Classic will deliver all-table live broadcasting and top-tier commentary from professionals like Jeremy Jones, Mike DeMarco, Scott Frost and Mark White. With the infrastructure powered by Digital Pool and the support from partners from around the world, portions of the event will have commentary on multiple tables as well as feature matches in multiple languages. The world-class field of Qists will clash with emerging warriors from the United States and fight for ranking points on the World 9-Ball Tour. This year's McDermott Classic kicks off Tuesday, March 12th and concludes on Sunday, March 17th. Purchase your pay-per-view pass at McDermottClassic.com now and take advantage of...
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is your host, Scott Frost. I am alongside the great Jeremy Jones. We've got two pretty good players here, Jeremy. I'm not familiar with Mr. Feliciano, but I am familiar with the man at the table, Brandon Schuff.
Yeah, well, Scott, you know numbers, and you can see 802 next to Feliciano as far as a Fargo rating. I know the World 9-Ball Tour doesn't, really go by Fargo much, but here, just something to go by for our fans. And Michael, I didn't know much about him until about a year ago. And, I think he finished second in the Sharks event, the huge Sharks event there in the Philippines, with the, I believe, Little Ko Ping Chung won on his run there at the latter end of last year. And then I saw him in Vietnam at the Perry Open. He played great, finished second. And just seems like he does well every time he plays. Took a loss earlier to a young Sam Henderson. Great young player.
Wow.
Yeah, Sam's the real deal in my opinion, and so is of course Brandon Show Enough Schuff's been a great player for a long time. I was watching Lucas earlier, and I really am, I'm getting more convinced of how well that kid's striking the ball.
It makes two of us with Lucas. I've heard the same about Sam Henderson. Talked to him some. I have not had the opportunity to watch him as much, but pretty big win for Sam against Feliciano, right?
Oh, absolutely, and really shut him down. I think the final was 10-4 or 10-3 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, so definitely, like I said, probably put him in the chair for many of those racks. Watch out for the 6. And the one thing I like really about both Sam and Lucas is they don't seem like, like what we're just talking about. They could hear about this and maybe watch their match or watch a match, and we say some nice things about them, but it doesn't really go to their head as young men. They're really working hard, both of them, it seems like, at all times.
I agree with that with Lucas. You don't see much negative getting in his mind. He just continues and carries on with everything.
Only during the tournaments, but away from the tournaments. Really just anyone that comes to the Northeast, he's going to play him some. And usually some type of challenge match, but usually there's a little interest on both sides. And it seems like he takes it the right way. Doesn't like losing like any of us, but he's, taking it past losing, right? Learning something with it, and it certainly helped.
And that's exactly what it takes, right? You said old school. It seemed like back in the day, the guys that made it were the guys that just got up there and took their wins and losses pretty much identically.
Yeah, knowing they're going to have both. And what a nice shot on the 3 from Brandon there to get position on the 4. And we'll see the pace. Brandon, known him for a long time. He's played at a lot of different paces in his life, really. He's played some fast pool, played real well. Of course, a little more methodical at times. But Michael, you'll notice, when you do get to see him, he doesn't take much time. He gets on with it for the most part.
Yeah, Jeremy, that's something I've focused on, and I rarely talk about myself on stream, but I think the longer or the more time I take playing a rotation game, the more trouble I can get myself into at times. So I think there's definitely a fine line there.
Well, I think it's more of all right, he's going to roll this in the side. I guess he can get above the 7 pretty easily. But to me, it's more of a there's different styles, of course. People are going to play by the book no matter what, usually. And then maybe vary every now and again. But usually a lot of your gut instinct goes by how you're feeling, and you don't realize it. You know, your gut tells you this pretty immediately. Now, there's nothing wrong with checking the gut with another option, but
Right.
when I see people get too involved, it's almost like that's when I can feel anxiety building a little bit.
Exactly. And I've heard you say this before, so I've made a conscious, there are times, where you've got to slow it down, but it makes a difference. That was a nice out by Shuff.
Yeah, really good. Really good. Had to make a couple shots, a couple nice decisions.
This is a race to 8. This is the one loss side. I believe if they make it to the final 16, Jeremy, can you tell us what happens from there?
Yeah, it'll just be the same as, I believe, the one pocket where the eight winners will draw across with the 8 one-loss players. And I believe past this round, whoever wins here has to play another person from the one-loss side and then go on to win one more match later with a loser coming from the winner side round. What is that, at 8 o'clock, I think?
8 p.m.
Yeah, you're in that round there. So Scott, like many others, is in the position where they win one out of their next 2. And they get in. Of course, they want to win that first one.
Yes.
And good luck tonight.
Thank you. The rails on these tables are consistent. The bed is quick. This is something you encounter quite a bit in these tournaments. You've got fresh cloth, so it changes your style a little bit, especially if you're a player coming from your pool room that's got a lot of worn-in cloth, which a lot of rooms do. Nice break though. Position on the 2, Jeremy. He does have an angle. He's got the 1 down as well.
Yeah, considering where the cue ball ended up, you got to love where you're at on the 2, and a lot of openings here, not a lot of gaps to run the cue ball, so he can keep it pretty simple here to get started. Just kind of 1 rail down at the ball like that. And I couldn't quite tell. Of course, I only played 1 pocket. I haven't played any 9 ball here, but it seems like to me the pool balls are maybe roll a little further. They're a little heavier, I think, overall. What I feel like, anyways.
You pointed that out early in day 1. Obviously, I pay attention to things you say, and I noticed that after you stated it. And I think it's okay to notice that, right? Because then you get in tune even a little bit more.
All right, as he come in 2 rails, he wants to avoid the 5. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Oof.
Yeah, he had to gamble long, though, because if you try to go between, I think you kind of let up on the stroke, kind of hitting that. I think that was the right gamble. It would have been cold to scratch off the 5 in the side.
Totally agree. Yeah, he's home free here. Carry an angle on the 6, or do you get straight? You want an angle here, right, Jeremy?
It doesn't bother me either way. Just be concrete about it. Really, I don't mind floating down a little short side. See, like right here, why I take the missable 6, little short side on the 7. The 7's only inches from the middle of the table, right?
Agreed. I like the play. I like it. I do like that play,
especially when nerves are high.
Sure.
So.
And it wasn't like the 7 was real close to the top left. He's got plenty of room to get to the short side, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and it was so cinched to get straight on the 6 from the 5. Here's where he made a little bit of the mistake, getting somewhat straight from kind of nowhere, having to take a longer shot on the 8. Now, good thing the 9's in position. This is where it could have got tricky if the 9 was across table. Well, he just didn't take much time there, huh?
No, and you pointed out at the Derby as well. I don't know. I have not watched him play since the Derby, but at the Derby he played great, and it looks like he's still playing really good.
Yeah, well, Brandon, I do believe, has been playing quite a bit of pool in the Maryland, Pennsylvania, all this northeast area.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, he played the U.S. Open last year. I don't think he's played that in a couple years before that. 2023, with the results that are posted, looks like he had a decent year for probably the little he played as far as bigger events. Had a first place at the 2023 Maryland Open 9-ball championship. And then, of course, Michael Feliciano had a little more results than we're seeing here, but second place at the Perry. I think Feder Gorst won that with about, I don't know how many fans were there. That was the tournament prior to the main event there in Hanoi, and it was a $110,000 purse, the warm-up, they might call it.
Yes,
So.
and I was watching your commentary there as well. That was crazy, that match.
Yeah.
With all the fans.
Yeah, and then everyone outside as well, but can't wait to go back there. Hopefully,
yes,
that is a possibility for me this year. But
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just a neat place. I'd like to see more Vietnam, really. All right, he's made another ball with a shot on the 1. The 2's a little tricky, and the 3's a little covered up, but
up and down, right, with a touch of in.
I might just play for short side here because I want to be able to move the ball a little bit. Because the thing is, can you really shoot the 3 from where the 2 lays? Say you get straight on the 2.
I like it.
Where the 4 is, though, I don't know if you can roll that in and hold for the 4. So.
Yeah, I felt like this was steeper than it looks, but if it's not steeper than it looks, then you do stay short side, right?
I think so, but I'd love to have a little angle to be able to get off the rail when I shot the 3, because there's angle there on the 3 to get to the 4. So it could be a little, like to have just a little bit of angle. Yeah, just like that. That way you can manipulate the cue ball a little bit with inside if you need shooting the 3 ball. Brandon's starting off real strong here.
Yes, he is. And what Jeremy's talking about is the 3 to the 4. You obviously got to hit the gap between the 5 and 9.
Yeah.
So he wants to be off the rail.
Yeah, and that puts you a little steep on the 3 because you don't want to gamble trying to get straight. You'd rather, a big miss. And saying a little something to the referee, I think, Brandon. I'm not sure what. Maybe something about a spectator in the view. No, he's not.
He is very frustrated.
Yeah, he's not too happy. All right, he's going to need to find an opening here. Yes. Didn't get it. Nice shot. I mean, you're playing a little percentage there for the first shot you've had at the table. You know, it's not easy, right?
Yeah, you've got to expect he's trying to catch that a little thinner. Come below those balls, but he went through them. It's okay.
Yeah, this is, I tell you got to go with the jump cue here, don't you? I mean,
it sure looks like
this is, he's got like 8 inches between the cue ball and the 3, and the hit on the 2 isn't anything special kicking.
Yeah, no doubt.
The 7.
You do have to go to the jump cue there, right?
Yeah, I'm not even the best at it, but I mean, I've improved a little just because get lucky enough to hear some great information from some people, but I think I would have even jumped at that one. All right, I don't know. Looking for a gap here. Is he going to draw over past the 7? This is a funny first shot.
Go above the side, the right middle?
Yeah, I would follow into that position myself.
He might overspun this, Jeremy.
It's close. I think he has.
He will jump this, I bet.
I think I would have put the cue ball behind the 2 and followed over to the rail. But he was trying to get better on the 3, like closer.
Yeah. I think you take your medicine there, right, and just come out above the side.
I guess, but, I mean, it is a funny-ish kind of shot. You could get, like, really nice on the 3 from distance to where you can roll forward easily, but if you catch any angle,
right,
the 3 to the 4 from a little ways away and near the rail could be a little awkward.
And what were you talking about? How were you talking about shooting it? With high cue ball, you said?
I thought he had about 10 inches from the cue ball to the 2 ball to the rail. I thought he'd put the cue ball behind it on the rail and follow straight into the side pocket with the 2.
Oh,
that way you're just following on a line to get to the rail and maybe 10-inch bounce, 8-inch bounce off the rail, something like that.
No doubt. If he could have done that, that's the line that you want to take.
Well, he's still a big favorite here. But again, he hadn't shot many balls, so you wouldn't say the adrenaline's going just yet.
He seems real elevated. This doesn't seem to be that tough.
I think he's trying to hit it lighter. That's why. You know what I mean? Because he wanted to hit it and keep the cue ball. These guys today, I mean, Scott, I don't know about your jump game, but these guys today are really, really on top of it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can jump the ball, but I'm not like these guys.
Now he has a little more of a Lee Van kind of set up a little bit. You'll notice the back arm very choked up, short of perpendicular.
Yeah, and he's a little bit more up and down, right? As far as his back is a little.
Yeah, but look how choked up he is at impact. See his arm in the back? He's very, like, normally they want you 90 degrees. Like, that's one thing you'll see very consistent with pros as a whole.
Okay.
And if they are a little forward, it's only a little bit, where he's quite a bit more like Levan is. But I think
Yes, I see it.
yeah, he's quite, like, watch when the tip gets to the ball, right? You'll see it, the angle from his elbow to his hand is quite a bit forward. A little harder to see there, but you'll see it throughout the match.
Oh my, he was really quick there.
Yeah, and I wonder where was he going. He must really be feeling it at the moment, because, I mean, that speed there was quite a bit off, right?
Absolutely, and I don't know why you had to come through the 9 and 7, but right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
100%, because the way the table's playing and really conditions these days, you just kind of stun float over and play the 7 in the lower left, right?
Correct. Do you play this, Jeremy, or can you just chip it and try and come behind the 9?
Yeah, I think I'm afraid of chipping it. I would just chip it to the back rail and play if I get behind the 9. But coming with it here, if you like the shot, I guess. Like, he hit it really well overall.
He sure did.
This gets on the rail, it could be tricky.
Look at that ball, just carries.
Sure does. It reminds me, like I said, of the Cyclops when we played at the Derby there for a few years, how the cue ball just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. Now, of course, these are Dynaspheres and nothing.
Yeah, I've heard they were mass-produced in China, though.
Yeah, maybe, but different product.
Correct.
All right, a little off angle on both.
He doesn't look quite settled yet, right?
Yeah, but it's funny. He kind of chokes up like Levan. You see it there at the ball, right?
There's no doubt. Yeah.
But he also, his style is like Carlo. So I wondered if he really kind of grew up around Carlo. Just because, I mean, he does everything like the left. He's on the left side of the cue ball when he addresses the ball, even though he'll go to center or right or wherever with the cue
really
ball.
compact, right?
Yeah, and really like Carlo a lot. A little faster tempo than Carlo, but here you have that McDermott classic. Of course, I'm sitting with the champion of the one pocket division this year. Congrats, Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah, you played well, really well.
I appreciate it.
Got tuned in on that table over there.
Yeah,
you made a lot of banks.
Yeah, they gave me a lot of airtime over there.
Yeah,
bound to figure it out after.
Well, the cross corners I was watching while I was playing a little bit. You made a bunch of those. Those are the ones you don't have to make for days, it seems like, and not the ones above the side where you're cross cornering.
Right.
Yeah. 2-1 is our score.
Now Feliciano, he is a bit older, correct? Is he 30?
Yeah.
30
I think he's closer to 40, I believe. Yeah.
So he's just been over there in the Philippines.
Yeah, I don't.
Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been to the Philippines, but of course you hear about all the players. The cab drivers can give you the 7 and everything else, but
Right.
a little of that is a few fish stories here and there. But there are a lot of great players, and just for a guy this level, and maybe he just went some time without playing for some reason or another, but surprising. Because we always hear about different names, and maybe sometimes they don't get to come play all the pro events, but you still hear about them.
Sure,
sure. Because there are players from over here that go over there and whatnot. But
well, I'm sure you noticed what happened on the break. The cue ball cornered out, did not scratch, made the 1 and got position on the 2 here low.
I like coming aggressive with inside here, 2 rails to just past center.
Above the 6.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah. Trying to take the 8 out of play, really.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, and he doesn't take much time, so.
And the more I look at him, I have not really had time, but the more I look at him, the more he really does look like a mix between Carlo Beato and Levan Corteza.
Yeah, cueing the ball, like setting up, you would think Levan, but then all the little mannerisms and everything else is more like Carlo.
Pretty interesting that you can pick that off. I don't know that I would have picked that off. It's pretty wild, actually.
Well, you never know. It may have been the other way around. May have been Carlo kind of picking up off Michael's. You know, if Michael was the champion prior to Carlo in whatever area they're in the Philippines. So,
but you're still saying the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty interesting. It comes through the ball at the end really well, right?
Well, that's one thing. He does break down the elbow some early also, but he's got it timed pretty well. You know, to where and he doesn't always break it down, but like right there, it broke down a little early, but he went with it. A lot of times when you break the elbow, you kind of slow the swing down, and but he doesn't. He keeps it going through. So.
Yeah, on that 8, he went through real clean.
Yeah. All right, 2-2 quickly after that kind of miss we didn't expect there in game number 3 from Brandon. And maybe, I don't know. You know, I know Brandon, he's an offensive player. What makes any of them great is being aggressive. But I wonder if, you know, hopefully he's not second-guessing going for that 6 after Michael missed it. Trying to follow around, you know, with top inside, maybe a hair.
He hit it good, like you said, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really hit it much better with the top inside. I don't know if I have the heart to hit it with the top inside. I might elevate if I'm going to try and make that ball because this cue ball draws so easily.
Yeah, but I mean, the 7 didn't pass the 9, you would have had to draw it all the way, a mile down there.
Yeah.
So I think just wonder if he's thinking maybe I should have chipped that ball.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight, right? We all like to have it back. I'm wondering if he was still a little flustered from the 2.
Yeah.
That he overcut. And the 1 didn't get close, Jeremy.
Yeah, and cue ball's drifting a little bit. We're going to see a push out for the first time. A difficult one, especially if the 1 goes by the 8.
And it does.
It does. Well, that's going to make things even worse.
I shouldn't speak like that. I believe it does, but it might not.
Yeah, it's close. It doesn't seem so stressed, but maybe.
Right.
He's certainly not going to kick at this.
I would hope not. It's tough enough to judge what this ball's doing off this slicker cloth.
Well, I think if he kicks at it, he probably hits it, but I always want to bet on, he's pushing out.
Yeah, I mean, if you can kick at it and you know you're going to hit it, good things could happen possibly from there, but I think you've got to push. He tied the 2 up, Jeremy.
Yeah, he tried to make something somewhat difficult. If the 1 goes, I think he will shoot at it trying to get shape, but I think the 1 maybe doesn't go.
Well, he's also elevated, right?
Yeah.
So that makes a difference.
I think if he had a pocket, though, he goes for it because the 2's so covered up. You know what I mean? Like, why not go for it and get the cue ball down there? So he's going to play the safety.
Yeah.
All right. Now Brandon's got an opening to cut this in and come down for short side shape on the 2.
He sure does. Boy, this looks a little steeper than it did.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make a nice shot, but I think any of your 9-ball players got to shoot here. Just got to level out and kind of smooth the ball in, get a little past the side. Yeah, just use your talent, kind of like, you know.
Look at this cue ball.
Really nice. Stayed off the rail, got a little angle. I'm not sure what he was looking at there, but
Well, he's a little below the 2.
yeah, he can stun for the corner, but the thing is, it's maybe hard to get on the 4 with all that traffic if you don't fall somewhat straight on the 3, right? I mean, if you got an angle, you got some work.
Right. Could you just go forward off the 7?
Maybe.
That's okay.
Yeah, if he has a full pocket here, I mean, he's got to make one nice shot coming 2 rails towards the 8 with the cue ball, but he's got to get enough speed because the 5 doesn't pass the 8. I mean, this is a tricky out.
It is tricky, and he's got to make sure he stays high of the 5 here as well. The cue ball will drift down.
Yeah, do you play with spin to get the 4 in the same corner?
A touch.
Oh, it cost him a miss.
He was quick again.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
I like this plan, though, diving down there. sometimes we kind of direct the cue ball a little more and take our eye off the object ball, right?
Oh, of course. There's no doubt.
Yeah, number one thing that happens to everyone. He was trying to jack him up, I think. Keep him off the jump, maybe.
Yeah, I would have considered maybe banking that one rail in the top right and stunning down below the 8 and 5.
Try and make it?
Yeah, two-way,
Yeah.
And you get more distance.
Yeah, and it's not the type of bank that hangs, really. It gets away usually from the pocket, so... Interesting. Brandon been snookered a couple times. I don't mind the kick here, but really hasn't contemplated the short cue at all. And now he's giving up ball in hand again. And, I'm one to say, hey, kick when it's supposed to kick, but that one there didn't mind the kick, but that first one that he fouled on, I like the jump for sure.
Yes.
All right, probably doesn't get to the second rail here. I don't see the reason why. All right, it's a little thinner than he wanted maybe, though. Can he kill it?
He is a little thinner. The 5 doesn't play, right? In the lower?
It does. It's tight, but it does. And now he can get close to it, so it should be okay. Coming one rail above.
I don't think he wanted to be that thin, though, did he, Jeremy?
No, he kind of like peeked his head as soon as he shot it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, is that what I want? And he went and looked at the 5 to see if it went, because he didn't consider that to start with ball in hand. He wanted to shoot the 5 in the side or the upper corner. Nice one rail angle here. No reason to get to the second rail. It's a little light, isn't it?
Yeah, and that cue ball bit pretty good, and I don't feel like he put much inside on it. Maybe a fraction.
Yeah, I just kind of thought it was just light with the stroke. Right, could get steep on the 8 here.
We'll tend to overcut this ball on this cloth. And he has. Is a big opportunity for Schuff. He's had a couple little blunders. Started out good. I think he's got a few things to get to him. This cue ball needs to settle. He should be fine, but it likes to really roll at times. It's a big game for Brandon Schuff.
Yeah, just mentally not to lose the lead, right? And he's breaking the balls. I wouldn't say super consistent with the first few, but he's made balls on the break and gotten shots, so that's about all you need. Give you some more scores, the outer tables. We have Alex Bosch and Nicholas DeLeon. Bosch leading 6-3 at the moment. Eric Roberts 6-5 over Tommy Kyer. Chris Wilburn it's 5-5 with him and Gary Henderson. Monique Surrey trails 6-2 with Barry Hetherington. We have Brandon Schuff, of course, here 3-2 leading Michael Feliciano. Mike DeShane and Lucas Fracasso Werner, 2 of New England's finest. Probably 2, they're very 2 finest New England.
Absolutely.
4-4. And Rafael Debreo and Gregory Sanchez, 6-3 to Sanchez. So he was down 3-0 in that match. And he's won 6 in a row.
It's the same time the one has gone at least 7 or 8 inches past or above the side, meaning, tell me if I'm wrong, Jeremy, but I've been taught if that one is going that high, you're catching it too full.
Too full and probably more stun than draw.
Got it.
But there are different ways to do it. So, I mean, like, there are people that, like DeShane, he has a little more stun than draw. But he has got the hit down kind of like SVB, the way he hits him. So, for me, it's just a little more. I haven't fooled with it enough, but the one I have fooled with a little bit is the draw one's easier for me to repeat. And I still don't repeat it or anything like that. I'd be in the tournament if I thought I could, but. A little elevated almost from nowhere. That would have been a tricky one too if he does off angle,
Yeah, and he's still flat. The 6 isn't hanging.
No. This is what makes this a little touchier as well, where the 7's at. So now he's got to kind of maybe bleed the cue ball. Is he going to play inside?
Yes, he is.
No, he ain't.
Cues to there.
That's what I was saying. Just like Carlo. Carlo cues left, and then once they swing, they reroute the cue to where they want the tip. Just like Bustamante. Actually,
Sure.
Rob says is the same.
Mm-hmm. Look at
Oh,
this.
he's made a huge mistake here, and maybe 50-yard line with the. He's going to have to make one heck of a cut shot here, and the cue ball's going to have a little speed.
Yeah, you'd almost think the cue ball might come short to the top right long rail here.
I would let it run, I think.
Yeah.
He's overcut it.
Oh, and what an opportunity for Schuff again. 2 games in a row.
And 2 shots from nowhere. The 4 to the 5 got funny kind of for no reason, and then the 7 to the 8.
Yeah, I guess the 7 to the 8, a little bit careless, right? Over pinching that ball. Oof.
Yeah, kind of shoved that one in. Yeah, it's a lot of times it's about what you need, not what you want to do. And I think he wanted to just say, hey, I can come in here nicer on it, and he got the best of him, just checked a little more than he thought, or maybe he caught the ball a little full to the pocket.
Yeah, in the thought process of coming in a little nicer really isn't necessary due to the position of the 8, but we've all done it.
Yeah, absolutely. And now a couple little, I hate to say gifts, but mistakes that led to a couple free games for Brandon.
Yeah, and Brandon's due for a break and run. I wonder if he's aware of the adjustment needed for the 1, if that's the ball he's playing, and typically that's what these guys are playing. 2 games in a row that's gone way past the side. Michael Feliciano looking a little bit stressed, in my opinion. I've got to give a shout out to these event officials. They've done quite well this week. They are not overwearing their welcome, I guess, if that's a way to put it. They're not doing too much. They're doing what they're asked. And if needed, they step in. But very, very clean so far.
Absolutely. I talked about it in the last, just like every sport, the refs are talked about in our sport as well.
Absolutely.
We've just how it is, right? They're part of it. When they're not talked about, that's a good thing for those referees usually. And a nice shout out there from you, Scott, because no one's really had any complaints at all. I haven't heard of anything. Because a lot of times when they do complain, they're just kind of venting a little bit.
Right.
Because, anyone could give you a rack on accident that's not the, perfect one. So, all right. Now the break has come back. The overcut. Oh, I thought he had hit it high. What a break, though.
Yeah, great break. He's made that adjustment that needed made, and the 1 went dead in the heart of the right middle. No excuse here, Jeremy.
No, he's just don't overthink it. Like you were saying earlier, just kind of simple pull, 2 rails right at the 7, just a little past the side. No reason to come all the way down.
Yeah, good call. I like that. Perfect angle, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I'm left-handed.
Right. You'd reach that. Would reach that pretty easy, though, I think.
Yeah. You're center table here.
Yeah, and I don't really check it here. I just go with the one rail, up the short side, I think.
Yeah, but you maybe put just half a tip of inside.
I think straight ball brings you right down the side of the table the cue ball's on now.
Probably.
Yeah.
especially the way it looks like
I mean,
it's playing.
you know, the camera will fool you, but yeah, I would look for this side myself. Yeah, that looks. I mean,
This side.
Yeah, the left
okay,
side. Yeah.
Gotcha. Natural, the natural way, which
you
makes
don't want
sense.
to. Yeah, you don't want to pull it 2 rails. That can get away, and no reason to put inside on the ball if you don't have to. So I just think straight English kind of gets you there, but
No, I fully agree. Fully agree.
you're just kind of coasting. Now he's looking at trying to pull the ball, I think, and that's to me a mistake. I would rather inside this than pull it 2 rails.
I would rather. Lucas Werner and I were just discussing this. I had a similar scenario like this, and the sidelines thought maybe I should go 2 rails out. I went 1 rail up, and held okay. You can go too long going 2 rails to this ball. I like your play. Yes.
Yeah,
just
that
like
looks
this.
super natural. I didn't see ever an issue really.
100%.
Yeah, the 2 rails, if you have a natural angle to come 2 rails, it's one thing. But you have to get into the ball to come 2 rails. And, you know, when nerves are high, you don't want to let up. And you can easily overhit, land straight on the rail, having to shoot the 9 from some distance, right? That one there, you're never touching a rail, so you're always going to be good. And a little more stress now after a break and run from Brandon Schuff, 5-2.
I'll step aside for 1 second. Sorry, Jeremy.
No worries. I believe we'll have another 1-loss side match round, or 1-loss side round match, excuse me, following this one before the 8 o'clock matches, which will be the winner's side. Can't tell you just yet. There's so many great matches at that round, and these rounds as well, but who will be featured match there at 8 o'clock, but should know soon. He's made a ball, did not make the 1. It's going to be pretty difficult on that 1 ball. See how he's feeling if he wants to play the roll safety, just trying to use the 7 as a blocker. Don't really like trying to run the cue ball off the 1. I don't mind this shot rolling it and trying to put the cue ball on the right side rail as the 1 gets somewhat on the left side rail. Trying to just utilize the 7. I think the 4 may cover up some banks. It's a touchy one to shoot at, though. You know, nerves are high. But I think that's correct overall versus the push out. Yeah, I was saying I like him shooting the soft, kind of soft safety here, trying to use the 7 as best you can. That's the only thing. I mean, you can't push out there. You got to try that for sure.
I agree, and he hit it perfect, Jeremy.
Yeah, you got to take it on. That safety there, there's a couple ways to get a good feeling for it. If you notice, both balls kind of settle at the same time, so you get a good feeling for that. What a nice hit here. All the spin on that cue ball.
Yeah, no kidding. Real full contact there.
It's still spinning. Just now coming off the spin. Look at it.
It's still going.
Yeah.
And there it stops.
Wow.
He's got to jump this.
Yeah, again. Yeah, definitely.
These jump cues nowadays, man, they really get up. He might not like... Does he have a jump cue?
Well,
he's looking at the Z kick here.
I think he's wanting to bend this. Like softly bend it by the 3, and you got to really hit that one light.
What's he doing here, Jeremy?
I don't know. Is he kicking 2 rails by in between the 4-5 at the 1?
Well, first he looked above the right middle.
It's pretty hard to say, and I wouldn't take a bet on that no jump cue thing. I'll tell you that, because this is another one you really got to go there. You're not
100%.
the favorite here kicking at this ball. May even catch the 3. What do we know?
Well, he's made good contact, but I feel like the
to
six
make the
was
1-6,
on,
yeah.
You know.
No, absolutely.
So I wonder. I'll have to ask him if he's got a jump cue. You would think he's got a jump cue.
Well, don't ask him unless he wins right after the match.
Of course.
Or I should have said it the other way, yeah. Don't ask right after the match unless he wins. Yeah, that's a better way to word it.
Well, let's see if he gets out here. It looks self-explanatory, but the 6 to the 7 could be a little interesting. He's made things difficult on himself, Jeremy.
Yeah, the self-explanatory, the ones that have gotten him, really.
Right.
And that kind of goes back to that old adage of, taking it for granted a little bit no matter how good you are, right? That's how fickle this game is. Just an inch or two makes a huge difference.
So here's what he did there, right?
Yeah, he's got a funny little touchy one. He's got to pull up the rail there with the 9. So he's either got to take a little steep from the right on the 7 or come all the way around. I probably come 3 rails by this ball. Go ahead and let the swing out.
Yeah, with this like a middle. Okay.
See, he went the other way. I wouldn't have gone that way myself. I would have pulled 3 rails underneath it. You know what I mean?
Especially the way the table plays, you're going to come long.
Yeah, very easy, and you're going to get a good feel for the shot. He was worried about the overhit there, so you end up short sometimes, So still can't argue the way he played it. I mean, anytime the cue ball you get position and it's going slowly,
sure,
it probably wasn't that bad of a choice. Boy, that ball, just think back to when I started playing in 88. I never saw a cue ball move like that. Just kind of slowly rolling up there. Yeah. It's like somebody's blowing on it.
Yes, it is. And when you look at it real close, it will start to, like, jar you a little bit.
Yeah. For all you, not so savvy, jar means kind of get you on tilt. Most of us out there know what jar means. But. All right, we'll get you some more scores from this round. And a bunch of one-loss sides coming up next that are great as well. So, Rafael DeBreo down 7-4 against Gregorio Sanchez, Guama. Mike Deshane and Lucas Fracassa Werner 5-5. Brandon Schuff, of course, here now at 5-3 over Feliciano Manic Sura. Trail 6-5 to Barry Hetherington. Chris Wilburn up 6-5 over Gary Henderson. Young Eric Roberts, cruising along, but in a close one this round. Up 7-6 over Tommy Kyer. Nicholas De Leon gets defeated by Alex Bosch. So that close one with you in the last round may have, knocked a little wind out of Nick.
Yeah, he's
been playing great,
He has been playing great. He breaks great, and we talk a lot back in Phoenix. He missed an 8, he should have made, and I think it really bothered him a little bit more than it should have. A little surprising there. Playing the combo, or is he playing safe?
I love the combo myself, but he's ducking. He's trying to kill the cue ball, and he's cut it a bit too much. Now, he did recognize the 8 was sitting funny.
Man, I just don't know how you pass that combination up.
Yeah, it sure looked full enough to where you weren't going to lose the 2. You sat nice cueing the ball, even though you were near the 6. So I think you got to smooth this in, the combo. I mean, I know it's not a fun one, but the cross corners there too, Scott?
I don't know if that ball's in the way of the cross corner. That's what I was just looking at. I think it's too tight.
Yeah.
Carom might even be on.
Yeah, the carom's not bad, actually. The more I look at the carom from this angle, it looks better than the combo. But if I shoot the combo, I don't whack it. I learn to not whack it. I might not make it, but sometimes with those, you want to hit with a lot of speed,
Definitely not this one.
Yeah, you just gave it his best effort, didn't go down, that's all.
Yeah, and you can't fault him for playing that combo. You just have to really overcut that ball from what it looked like.
Mm-hmm. All right, a little funny from the 2, the 3, the 4. Then past that, should open up.
Yeah, so here you don't want to end up on the rail and straight in, right? On the 4.
Yeah, this is touchy. I mean, there's a gap between the 6-9. It's a big one, but like Scott talked about, there's all kinds of ways to get on the rail. You'll see him cueing left, but definitely not hitting left English.
Is there an idea to get towards the center of the table and take the
What
cut?
about the side? Just near the right side, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I would go for.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Put the stroke on it.
Wow. Okay. That shows the ability of this player.
Oh, no, he's a confident player as well. If you got to watch him play last year at all, and if you really go back, because he's a fun player to watch. He plays everything pretty aggressively. Even the safeties and stuff, he'll usually go for a lot of the more difficult ones at times, but the ones that do pay off.
Little flat here again.
Yeah. Take a little distance here. Coming 2 rails. Just
Punch
stun.
2 rails?
Yeah. I think so. You could draw it. He's going to draw it. Whoa. Got a lot of that spin.
He doesn't mind getting close to his work.
Well, that's the key, though. If you're gonna try to hold the line on any kind of spin shot like that, letting up is not the way to do it. And that's what he doesn't do. Is he doesn't let up. He gets through that ball. So
Yeah, he really does get through that ball, and if he goes forward here, I think he's going to rub the top of the 8, but I think he's fine to go forward. He's not going to, though. Going to come down below it.
yeah, just a little light stun.
And this is the 8, similar that Nick missed in the top left against me.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe
Overcut it?
Undercut it.
Undercut it. Well,
Maybe a little tougher, not much.
talked a little bit to Michael earlier. He will be going to many events this year. He's going to the UK Open. So I'm sure he'll make many events in Asia as well. Now 5-4 trails.
Eric Roberts tied up with Tommy, don't know how to say his last name, Kyer. Jeremy Sosi defeats Sullivan Clark 10-9.
Boy, both those guys just remind me of each other. I tell you, they're both just really hard players, grinders. Always improving, it seems like. I wish Jeremy, of course, became a father not long ago, a couple years ago, so his priorities changed a little bit, but I wish he could spend a full season out there playing all the big events, or 2 full seasons.
Yeah, I fully agree. He's one I always expected to see out there because he definitely has the ability.
Yeah, treacherous shot here going away from the 3. Is he going to try and hump this in to create a different angle? Because it looks like a scratch-ish kind of shot if he plays it in the side.
Yeah, and what Jeremy's talking about is humping it in, and I like the term actually, and he's talking about forcing it with a high cue ball, and it's going to bend towards the top middle and then straighten out. So 2 rails down by the 5, catching that right long rail first, or top left long rail on our screen. But he would have to hit this with pace, Jeremy, and it's easy to miss, right?
Man, I mean, you're on the rail. Let's see how still the body stays. Yeah, it's just such a missable ball. I mean, like that.
Fortunate he didn't scratch, really.
I mean, I didn't see any ton of safeties I liked, really. He could have maybe bunted the 2 by the 8 to the top rail and just float the cue ball on the left side rail, trying to get the bare ball safety. I may have rolled out there or pushed out before I shot the shot he shot, just because I don't feel like my percentages of making it are probably 20%.
Yeah, and that's how awkward it was laying.
Yeah, he's got to not avoid the 9, but just make sure he doesn't baby it and something bad happens with the cue ball as it goes between the 4 and 9. Nice shot.
Very nice.
Like the aggressive stroke there.
Yeah, that was real clean.
It's almost like when you're thinking well, you just forget about the 4-9 being there and you just make a proper stroke. Sometimes when you're going between balls, you kind of guide it a little bit and you end up way further away from the 3 than you really should be.
Little angle here.
Yeah, and it's one of the most awkward shots with inside is this hair of an angle. And if he stuns over, he could get in trouble with the cue ball. So you'd like to go forward here if you can. Nice shot. He just played it top.
Made it look simple. He's right back in line here. Just don't want to overhit this. Stay clean through the ball. Just like so. He's falling perfect.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, of course, he has a lead now, and it should be 2 games shortly, but he's been more solid between the 2 players. Both players have had a couple little mistakes, a couple missed balls you didn't expect, but Brandon, as far as the outs he's had, he's made some good ones.
I'd have to agree.
Brandon show enough shuff, up 6-4 in this race to 8. Started with 77 players, is that right?
Correct. Mike DeShane leading 7-5 over Lucas Verner. DeBreo trailing to Giorgio Sanchez. Gregorio Sanchez?
Gregorio,
I apologize. 7-6.
Yeah. Just to give you a little update for later, of course, Jeremy Sose will play Josh Filler, Max Lechner, Jonas Sudo. These are all winterside matches. Tyler Starr, Victor Zielinski. Did I pass you up,
I
Scott?
play Mario He.
Okay, so yeah, Scott Frost, Mario He, Albin Ocean, Mickey Krause, David Alcady, Shane Wolford, Sam Henderson, Moritz Newhausen, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, and Win Anton. So how's that cast for you at 8 o'clock?
Not too bad. Brandon loses the cue ball there, Jeremy, in the lower left. I did not see it. I was watching the other screen, so he might have got kissed. Couldn't imagine he went straight in, so.
All right, played for the draw stroke here. All right, little funny one here, just coming across. He wants to stay away from jacked up or, of course, obviously getting snookered.
I feel like it's real funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's just awkward. Anytime you're lightly stunning from behind, you feel like anything kind of can happen. Really good speed there.
Yeah, it is. Look at that long bridge.
Yeah, it's amazing how often someone that is choked up on the cue in the back will have the long bridge in the front. Not sure what the reasoning for that is overall, but I got some ideas, I guess. But it's been the last few balls on the table that has gotten Michael a little out of line at times, right? Now he's gotten to where he's got to draw the ball quite a bit. Nice stroke.
This better settle. This cue ball will continue.
It's going to get awkward. Remember the ball on the side, he had to play the 8, not nears. That one was much more difficult.
Is the scratch on here? It's just not, is it?
I think good stroke. He gets through the ball pretty easy.
Yes. Well, he's losing the cue ball here, Jeremy.
This has got to really settle. And the funny thing is, it was the shot prior when he drew the ball and he saw that maybe the adrenaline's just going, right? He certainly didn't miss his mark by that much. Going for the bank, I'm sure. Mach 5.
Mach 5 is right.
Well.
And I can tell you guys that the bed of these tables are extremely quick. It gets you a little tight at times. Don't know if this cue ball is actually lighter than a measle ball, but it sure feels like you can draw it with very little effort.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what the combination of things are, but it seems like it does go for a ways. I think this is just 860 Simonis on here, so we have really dry conditions overall for 3 out of the last 4 days. Yesterday was a little sticky, but not bad. All right, yeah, I didn't like the hit on the 1 anyways, and a 2-9 looming. This is going to be a quick one.
Yeah, and he's had a few quick ones, and he'll take it.
I got to believe this is on.
It is on.
And this would get Brandon to the heel. He's telling the ref to hang tight. Don't go far.
Shaking his head, kind of like, it's unfortunate or I didn't deserve that. But listen, in a race to 8, this format, take what they give you, buddy. Take what they give you.
Yeah, and, Michael did miss the 1 pretty badly there. There's nothing wrong with coming below the rack, but he was coming near the bottom rail at all times with a thin hit on the 1. So those types, just like when you bring the cue ball a little more near the side, 1 rail cross, and you get that little kiss, that's a little on you too, because you brought the cue ball closer to that corner or side pocket. So
the doctor is ordering a break and run. Let's see if he can put it down.
Well, I'll tell you what, his last break was as good as any of them I've seen. As
Absolutely.
far as it looked like exactly what he wanted. There's the one. Oh, the cue ball.
I've done that a lot of times with this break.
Yeah, you'd figure it's how do I still make the 1, sometimes draw across the spot, sometimes draw into the side pocket, still make the 1. Is that adding a hair of outside on accident? Because
right,
when I break them, I try to just do straight draw as much as possible. It almost seems like instinct to put a hair outside on accident, really.
It really does. I actually feel like I get a little better action with the low right, just a touch of right.
Yeah.
But I think it gets me in trouble, and that's why I'm scratching 1 ray on the side. That's why he scratched 1 ray on the side. He's just got to get up just below the 9 here.
All right, no issues here at all. He's going to bump the 7, maybe a hair. Shouldn't be much if he does at all. Is he going to move this closer somewhere? No, he's just killing this, right? Okay, I don't know why he moved the 7.
Yeah, it seemed like he did more than he needed there. You could have just rolled that in, like Jeremy said, left the 7 where it is.
Yeah, that makes it easier off the 6, and not saying it should be tough, but if he ends up a little short, could be touchier off the 6.
Yeah, and you don't want to end up on the rail either.
Like, say if he ends up 3 inches shorter, that makes all the difference in the world now that where the 7's at. So not feeling it still, in my opinion, even though we're way deep in the match, but which he told me, he said he just didn't feel good in his last match. He had a nosebleed from nowhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was very concerned about that. So maybe
That could have something to do with things, right?
Yeah, just a little stressed at the moment, maybe. A little more stressed. Did get one back. Now 7-6.
And a big scratch on the breakoff by Shuff.
Show enough Shuff. Played the Moscone Cup twice, I think. I know once for sure. I think he played it one other time. I
Really?
thought. Yeah, maybe 2009, maybe.
Mike DeShane does defeat Lucas Picasso Werner 8-5. So Lucas is eliminated. The one is down, but man, he was close to the corner again, caught it really thin. 4-9. It's a little tied up, and getting on the 3 nicely could be a question mark. It's available. He's going the right direction. He's going to have to address his cue ball with something more than just natural, I believe. Might want to spin 2 rails tight underneath, basically headed towards the bottom of the black 8. He's looking to see if he can come straight across, Jeremy. Maybe he can run into the 6.
That's what I like. It looks like just a nice, not super light, but just, medium-ish. Should hold easily. You'd like the 5 to not be there, but it doesn't really matter that much, just as long as you get through the ball. He played it with inside. Watch out, 8 ball.
Yeah.
Okay, he's all right.
Believe it or not, you can get stuck to that 8 from that position and be snookered. Does the 4 play in the top right? I believe it does. So a big game here to tie this match up. Oh, he's decided to come around. So that tells me the 4 didn't play in the top right.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a nice shot here.
Yeah, and he might have to flirt with rubbing the 9 a fraction. I don't know. I think he's going to get enough of the 4 where he can miss it. Especially with speed. Nicely done there.
Yeah, now set up to really... Got to make a nice little one here, too. He can beat the 9, though, going across, I think, anyways. But setting us up for a hill match here. And Brandon Shuff did appear once in the Moscone Cup for Team USA.
Well, it's been a little bit of a funny match to me. It seems like you kind of touched on it. It seems like it's been mostly Shuff in this match. But Michael knocking on the door.
That's got to slow down. And these are, races to 8. You get to qualify. They do lengthen out a little bit. Even the races to 10 on the winner's side right now. Doesn't take much to lose a match or let someone back in it, right? So I think if Michael gets away with this match, or I hate to say gets away with, but makes the comeback.
Of course.
I think he needs to pay attention a little more to the cue ball and don't let it just wander so much. Like get to that simple position zone and say that's good enough. Because he's obviously a great shot maker. 7-7.
Yeah, that's really good advice, actually. Play a little bit more of an area position versus a perfect position. Not allow the cue ball to wander quite as much, like Jeremy said. I think that's really the only thing he really needs to touch on, maybe going forward if he happens to win this match. Obviously comes down to this last game and this last break. He has lost the cue ball the last 2 times towards the lower right. Seven games apiece, Jeremy. This is it.
Yeah, and he's not going to change much. Just try to hit it a little better, I would think. All right, got the arc on the cue ball. Did get a ball down. He's going to get a shot on the one as well, and a nice one. I mean, considering, it's hill. You got to love the shot, right?
I do agree. I think he'd like to get straight on this too. Doesn't really want to get steep on it. He's got to flirt with a 4 and 8 if he does, because of the position of the 3.
Yeah, this is an in-betweener. Hard to go across comfortably, hard to hold comfortably. He did pretty well overall. He's going to be queuing over the 7, though, so nothing easy.
Yeah, he did hold it about as good as he could from that position.
Yeah, I was thinking, do I let the stroke out and come across, because the 2 does go in the, by the 8. I mean, because that long one where I'm killing my ball-ish kind of, to me is not my most favorite way to hit the ball. Oh, nice one there.
He's going to end up on the rail.
Yeah, but still a really nice shot. He's a little unfortunate, caught the 2 a little thin to the pocket. That's why the cue ball went over a little more. Now he's just got to take his medicine, right? Take a long one on the 4.
Hard to roll this ball, Jeremy.
Oh, boy.
It's hard to roll it, though.
I think it's even harder for Michael. Just doesn't want to do that. Wow, what a shot. Now, do you try to come all the way back? Do you take the cut because the right side of the table is very open? You can run the cue ball off the 6 up and down. That's my preference.
I like the cut. I would definitely not try to snatch it all the way back, but he might have different intentions.
Yeah, the key to this is even if you're laying up, don't cinch the stroke. Still make a good stroke. Like there, he didn't back off. Even though he wasn't coming all the way back, he still made a good, committed stroke, right?
Sure did. Yeah, he got the most out of it. Still going to come up and down. Be careful. This ball can die off that second rail. Oh, he's hit it clean. Really clean.
Yeah, and hate to see we're going to lose one of these guys. And looks like a guy that played well enough to win, just scratch on the break to end. And did he get back to the table?
No, he has not. And this is one of those matches it's tough to see somebody go. Brandon did play, in my opinion, as good as his opponent this match. A couple mistakes early.
Little awkward here. He could cheat the pocket going forward. That's what I would do. Doesn't look tough to me at all, but
no.
Could just stun over and play the 9 on the side. I hate side pockets for the winner. Yeah, that's the shot there all day. So you got to give it to him, right? Hanging tough. Feliciano had some early mistakes. Had a kind of a loose cue ball, but got it together.
Yeah, congratulations to Feliciano. Jeremy, I enjoyed it, buddy.
Same here. Good luck at 8 o'clock, Scott. Give them all you can, and one for the older guys in the tournament. Right?
Yeah, thanks.
Anyways, Jeremy Jones and for Scott Frost, we'll be back for the McDermott Classic soon. Stay tuned.
It's time to shoot. Looks good. It looks real good.
We're in for an absolute thriller. Look at this.
The McDermott Classic will deliver all-table live broadcasting and top-tier commentary from professionals like Jeremy Jones, Mike DeMarco, Scott Frost and Mark White. With the infrastructure powered by Digital Pool and the support from partners from around the world, portions of the event will have commentary on multiple tables as well as feature matches in multiple languages. The world-class field of cueists will clash with emerging warriors from the United States and fight for ranking points on the World 9-Ball Tour. This year's McDermott Classic kicks off Tuesday, March 12th and concludes on Sunday, March 17th. Purchase your pay-per-view pass at McDermottClassic.com now and take advantage of the limited time early bird pricing available only until Tuesday, March 12th. All event information can be found at McDermottClassic.com.
Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
All right, Facebook friends, it's your pal Mike DeMarco from Ship the Cash. Hope you enjoyed that last match with your special guest commentators, Mr. Jeremy Jones and Scott Frost. What a really special treat that is to have folks like that on hand to deliver such awesome insight into the game, calling the shots for you. So next up, we are going to have Sullivan Clark and Oscar Dominguez. And this is a B-side match. It's a race to 8. Race to 8 for these players. And they will begin shortly. They are going to be doing some warm-up And don't forget, Facebook friends, we are going to be signing off of the Facebook platform. If you'd like to continue to watch these matches, please head on over to McDermottClassic.com. Purchase your pay-per-view pass. Help support the event. And still have some good matches going on through tonight and tomorrow. And the final round tonight is going to be played at, I believe, 10:30, I believe, is the final round. I'm going to confirm that for you in just a second. Yeah, final winners round of the day is going to be at 8. 8 o'clock, and the final B-side round will be 9:45, going into tomorrow to get us to that final 16. So, again, head on over to McDermottClassic.com to get your pay-per-view pass. Facebook friends, as we will be going back to the pay-per-view platform.